त्रयताप हरे तव नाम गुने, त्रयताप हरे तव नाम गुने, गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने, अभिमान प्रभाव विमर्दक है, गतिहीन जने तुमि रक्षक है, चित संकित वंचित भक्ति धने, चित संकित वंचित भक्ति धने, गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने, गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने, गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने। प्रथम सदा शुभ साधक है, पतिता धम मानव पावक है, महिमा तव गोचर शोत मने, दीन जने गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने, गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने। जय सद्गुरु ईश्वर प्रापक है, भवरोग विकार विनाशक है, मन जैन रहे तव श्री चरणे, मन जैन रहे तव श्री चरणे, गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने, गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने, गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने। हाथे हाथे ताली बैठा करो, लिरिक्सটা দেখো। দেখি কতটা মনে আছে কথাটা। হাতে হাতে তালি দিয়ে বলো রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম, রাম কৃষ্ণ একাধারে কৃষ্ণ নাম, হাতে হাতে তালি দিয়ে বলো রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম, রাম কৃষ্ণ একাধারে কৃষ্ণ নাম, রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম বলো অবিরাম, কলির তারক ব্রহ্ম রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম, রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম বলো অবিরাম, কলির তারক ব্রহ্ম রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম, হাতে হাতে তালি দিয়ে বলো রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম, রাম কৃষ্ণ একাধারে কৃষ্ণ নাম, এই যুগেতে সারদা রাম কৃষ্ণ নামের মেলা, পারে যেতে চাস রে যদি কর তোরাই বেলা, এই যুগেতে সারদা রাম কৃষ্ণ নামের মেলা, পারে যেতে চাস রে যদি কর তোরাই বেলা, এই যুগেতে সারদা রাম কৃষ্ণ মধুর নাম, যুগের হাওয়া লাগিয়ে পরে করি গুণগান, বলো রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম, হাতে হাতে ताली दिए। बोलो राम कृष्ण नाम, राम कृष्ण एकाधारे कृष्ण नाम, राम कृष्ण एकाधारे कृष्ण नाम, राम कृष्ण एकाधारे कृष्ण नाम। प्रकृतिं परमां करते सबाई करुन आमार साथे। चरितं यस्य पवित्रं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णजगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः।
Kali Puja is coming. Do you know Kali Kirtan?
আমি চেষ্টা করতে পারি। ভুবনময়ী করতে পারে। ভুবনময়ী চেষ্টা করছি। ঠিক আছে, আগে ভুবনময়ী করি তারপর। ভুবনমোহিনী বন্দি তোমারে দুর্গে দুর্গতি হারিণী মা। ভুবনমোহিনী বন্দি তোমারে দুর্গে দুর্গতি হারিণী। তুমি হিমবতী তুমি অহং নাশিনী হৈমবতী তুমি অহং নাশিনী। জগৎ জানে রিপুদলনী জগৎ জানে রিপুদলনী। জগদ্ধাত্রী ত্রাণকারিণী জগদ্ধাত্রী ত্রাণকারিণী। তুমি আদি জননী মা তুমি আদি জননী। ভুবনমোহিনী বন্দি তোমারে দুর্গে দুর্গতি হারিণী। তুমি মহাবিদ্যা শক্তি তুমি বিশ্ব তোমারে বিভূতি। তুমি শক্তি জ্ঞানদাত্রী তুমি শক্তি জ্ঞানদাত্রী। প্রেমানন্দদায়িনী ভুবনমোহিনী বন্দি তোমারে দুর্গে দুর্গতি হারিণী মা। দুর্গে দুর্গতি হারিণী মা দুর্গে দুর্গতি হারিণী।
In the beginning, Narendranath was not accepting Kali. So he was a strong Vedantin in that way also. And at the same time, the conception, wrong conception, interpretation about goddess Kali, that was very strong in those days. And people used to think that is a lower caste lady and that Hindus are worshipping. And that was a religious group, those who were ruling at the time. And naturally they were propagating, and also our people were accepting, yes, there's a lower caste lady, she is almost no clothes and doing this, cutting the head of the people and then keeping the cows, keeping that heads as a girl. And so that was a wrong conception. So this time the God himself, and he came in the form of Sri Ramakrishna, worshipped Kali, and so close to Calcutta, the Didan capital of India, only to teach us that Kali is the goddess of learning. The power is, or the human power is learning, knowledge. It is not muscle power. It is not the physical strength. It's the strength of the intellect. So Kali has not killed anyone. Mother cannot do that. The mother actually, if you see the girl, that is the very peculiar, of course, very special, I should say, very special way of giving the complete idea. The goddess Kali is the manifestation of the Brahman in activity. Manifestation of Brahman in activity, and how she is doing knowledge and action. So the garland of the human head, which is the indication of the knowledge. When he says a very intelligent person, we show like this. And from her waist, hanging the human hands. That means the work. That is the human hand shows that the work, the knowledge and work, and that creates. Shows she is the creator. And she is also the time. The Kali, Kala means time, so the Kali. And she is acting on the basis of the knowledge, which is Shiva. The Shiva is white. That means Sattva Guna. He knows everything, but not functioning, not doing anything. So depending on the Shakti. The word Shakti that we use, because we see that whenever we do something, we always express our power, so that is Shakti. That is the goddess Kali. But because of people in those days in Calcutta mainly, they were thinking, oh, Kali is this, that. So Naren, the young boy of 15, 16, 17 years old, so he was also influenced by that idea, carried away by that idea, and refusing to go to the Kali temple. He used to come to Sri Ramakrishna. He used to love Sri Ramakrishna. He used to sit with Sri Ramakrishna, but never accepted Kali. Then ultimately it so happened, his father was such a rich person, but the moment he died, they became very, very, in a condition, there's no money, even to eat. Then he tried. At that time, Naren was graduate, Calcutta University graduate, but he was not getting a job. When he got a job in a school that run by our Vidyasagar Maharaj school, other teachers, I think because Narendranath was an excellent teacher, so the students were very much interested to listen to his topic, his subject. So they became jealous and they complained to the authority, that is Vidyasagar, through his in-law, son-in-law, that Naren is doing this, that. Without any inquiry, they sacked him. He lost the job at that time. And he was not getting job anywhere, even being a graduate in those days. Class 10 pass was sufficient. Up to class 8 means that was sufficient to get a job, and graduate. So that was Maya. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he wanted to show him in that way. Then ultimately, when he found no job with no help from anyone, then he came to Sri Ramakrishna and he told, okay, now you have to go and pray to Mother. As because you don't accept Shakti, so this suffering. You go and accept her. Then what to do, because Mother and the brothers, they're all hungry and there's no food at all. And almost everything that he has tried failed. So he went only to pray, give me a job. But the moment he entered, he saw not that stone image, but the living goddess. That is the benign Mother, all pervasive. And then he started praying, that we all know, give me, bless me, so that the discrimination, dispassion and all that. 3 times, repeatedly he did. Then afterwards, Sri Ramakrishna said, okay, your family will never suffer for food and clothing. And he, seeing the Mother, became so happy, and he came to Sri Ramakrishna. He told, I like to express my joy through a song. tremendous happiness. I cannot express it. So how can I? Then Sri Ramakrishna taught him a song, Ma Tam Hitara. It's a completely Vedanta and through the form of Mother Kali. Ma Tvam Hitara Tumi Triguna Dhara Parat Para Ma Tvam Hitara. Then one after another. Tumi Jole, Tumi Sthale, you are everywhere. That is the song when he sang, then he became ultimately very calm. And in the morning, whole night he was singing and running around the temple. You have seen the Dakshineshwar temple is a huge, big temple. And in that courtyard he was running all night singing this song. We can imagine. That means a man, when he becomes very happy, how he behaves. Then in the morning time he came and he was sleeping on the floor without any mattress or anything. He was that bare floor, he was sleeping on that. Then a gentleman came to meet Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna, like a very proud father, he was showing that boy, he said, Narin Kali meneche. He has accepted Kali. This is a great thing to accept that power also. Sometimes we only go on discussing about the consciousness, that Brahman. But Brahman with power, that is also here. We cannot deny it. So sometimes people say that is the non-duality and this is qualified non-duality. Or maybe duality. But Sri Ramakrishna said you have to accept everything. That is also power. That is also that Brahman. So we will discuss this today in our Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna class. So thank you. Then let us start our regular reading. I usually give the discourse on the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, but today, as I have come over here in the Huntsville, and today is the Wednesday, so evening, I thought that I will read the Gospel and then discuss the same thing with you. So let us begin with this mantra. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibiriritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatatam bhubi grinanti e bhurida janaha. About the Gospel, Bhagavan, they say it is the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, I always say it's the Panchama Veda. Why? It gives so much of knowledge. Knowledge of not only the spirituality, but day-to-day knowledge also. So Veda, the word Veda means knowledge. And there are 4 Vedas. Of course, traditionally they say the Mahabharata is the Panchama Veda. Some other claims are also there on some other. But I say now, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Kathamrita, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's Kathamrita, is the Panchama Veda, if we consider that. And not only that, he himself claimed, and that is true. The Veda means knowledge. Some of the rishis, they, through contemplation, through meditation, they discovered some truths. Some of the truths that lies in over here and that we are in our life, we feel, we see. Maybe that we are not understanding, but it is there. Sri Ramakrishna said, whatever is there in the 4 Vedas, Ekankar Obhiggata Ved Vedanta ke chhadiye geche. That's a long claim, it's a tall claim. People may say, oh my God, how can you say like that? Those who do not know and have not gone through the biography and the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, have not understood the real person, then they may think like that. But what is that? How to apply that knowledge? The Veda, which is mainly Upanishad, which gives the knowledge, they say that consciousness is everywhere. It's okay, that is a theory. And the consciousness, if it is all, then why we are not understanding? Why we suffer? Why we are afraid? Every moment we are thinking, oh, I am going to lose, I am going to have this suffering. And it is true. Then if we are all those consciousness, why we don't feel that? Sri Ramakrishna explained that. Then we are, in every pages we find that. We were reading in 938 page, where Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is very sick and he is in Kashipur, and he was talking with the Master Mahashay, the recorder of this. He said that mental renunciation is the essential thing. That too makes one a sannyasi. This is page 938, English Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna by Swami Nikhilananda. And we have discussed that, the mental renunciation. It is our mind that gives us everything. It's not the body, it's the mind. And not only that, we get this body according to our thought. That is also there. The mind is so strong. And what is mind? Thoughts. And where from the thoughts come? By seeing, by hearing, by smelling, by touching. So these are the things we must be very, very careful. Because we are going on eating. But unfortunately, I do not know where from this thought came, all concentration went, the whole Hindu society thing, whatever we are eating through the mouth is the only thing. Of course, a little effect is there. Suppose you eat something and the effect may be there, but that is nothing almost. We have to be careful about the sight, what we see, about the sound, what we hear. That is why the prayer is there in the Upanishad. Bhadram karne visrinuama devaha. Bhadram pasya. I should see the good thing, positive thing. I should hear the positive words. Why they are praying then? And that is the reason, that is the main food. But unfortunately, we have forgotten that. That's a very funny thing going on. After our one program, I think 5 or 6 of us, Swamis, then one devotee invited us and we went to his house and they gave us all different food. And then maybe that the lady or the daughter of that gentleman, she was doing the camera was there. Now phone is camera, so she was taking. And anything and everything they will be putting in the website and social thing. So they like to share, and it went out, and people commenting, oh, the Swamis are eating. How the Swamis will survive without eating? And food means what? Whatever we like, we eat. And they cook, because the devotees, they love and they cook. And they give 6, 7 items, different items, not only one. Many devotees, they cooked and then brought it. Maybe dal was 3 different types. Maybe sabji was 4 different types. So what to do? That was on the table. They kept on the table, or when they were taking the photo, so naturally, so it was as if there is a grand feast. I said, then why you are angry? Some people they are commenting that if you like to eat, please contact us and we will also arrange for that food. If you have not taken that food, don't be angry with us. And that is the way many of us are vegetarian. Some, because we grew up in that, we don't think that only eating the non-veg will stop our going to heaven. We don't believe that. If you believe, you eat grasses, what is there? You eat, no problem. But let us go to health. What is there for you? Why you are criticizing? That is the main problem, concentration on the food. Swami Vivekananda became very much angry on that, and he said, do you think you have any religion? Your religion is in the kitchen. Who is cooking? How he is cooking? And how he is holding the glass, left hand or right hand. Oh my God. So all that has become. But what is religion? Clear understanding. What is the clear understanding? I am that divinity. Why? Because there was nothing but that divine. So the creation came from the divinity. Obviously, I am that divine. But why I don't understand that? Because I have been separated by the same power who has created, by Maya. And that is the special thing, the divine game, divine play is going on. There are examinations. Whenever you like to become a professor, they will have the examination. You have to appear. Like to become a doctor, you have to appear in the exam. In everywhere. You like to become God, so you have to appear in that exam. And what is that examination? Mother Kali, if you see, the left hand, she is holding a sword and the shavered head. Why? And the right hand is so good, both the right hands, and upper hand she is giving the blessings, and the lower hand, the right side, she is offering all boons. So that the right side, but the same mother in the left hand, the sword and the shivered head hanging. And why we are terrified? But if we understand, the sword is not to cut the head of a man, a person. It's to cut the ego, which is separating us from the divinity. We are divine. Now the rasgulla or the sandesh or the pantua and others, made of sugar only. But if they say we are separate, of course they are separate. Because the pantua is black, rasgulla is white, and these yellow. So like we fight, there's a black person, is a yellowish person, is a brown person, is a white person. In the human society we are fighting in that way. Rasgulla will fight. Hey, I am white, so I am supreme. But all they are made of sugar only. The moment they understand that, then there is no difference. This much is the religion. To understand who is the creator, who has created us. But then, why so many differences? Why men, the male, female, educated, uneducated, the rich and poor, why all this? Now again come back to mind. That when your mind is thinking in this way, it is like this. So that he says that one can become mentally, if you renounce, you can become. Mental renunciation is essential thing. That mentally you have to renounce. Then the Master Mahashaya, who was hearing, he said, Sri Ramakrishna kept silent. Again he is telling, but one must set fire to one's desire. Very strong words. And very straight cut. That is religion. Whether I am eating potato or something else, it matters little. Hundreds of years we are passing on that. Now it is time to understand what is there in the food. The moment you go to the Google and ask what is there in the potato, they will give you a whole thing. You need not to go to a doctor. So now what is there? But the main thing for the spiritual life is this, to understand clearly. And what I am going to understand? My mind. And what is their desire? What are the desires? These worldly things. Now, I want these worldly things which is constantly passing. And I think that I will get permanent joy, happiness, and everything from that. That is the wrong thing. How can you expect the permanent happiness? Somebody becomes the king, then after some time he has to die, or he will be killed, he will be dethroned, somebody else will come and sit on the same throne. It goes on, that is history. Now, if you cry and say, I am going to be that, you have to go again and again. So the beautiful story is there in our Chandi. In the beginning itself, says, there was a very famous king, very good king, just king, but he was dethroned by some enemies. Of course, they were there, but his own people, they betrayed him. So that he could not forget. I was defeated by these people. So that was haunting his mind. So he went to the jungle, hiding, and he met another person. Hey, who are you? Well, I am a businessman. How come you are here? Well, see, whole life I collected fund, money, wealth, gold, only for my family people. And they betrayed me. I don't know why. I collected all that for them only. Why they had to do that? I cannot forget that. That is burning in my mind. And I can't sleep. This is happening. Both of them became good friends because the same cause. Then they were searching, suddenly met a rishi, Medha rishi. And the rishi said, this is Mahamaya. That there came that Mahamaya. It's the power of God that makes like this. And if you like to go beyond that, you have to worship that Mahamaya, that power. And when you worship that power, and whatever you pray, she will give. They worshipped and they found the goddess Durga, Ma is standing before them. You know, these two persons, they prayed two different ways. Why? That king could not forget that he was defeated because of the ego, Kshatriya ego. I was defeated by those people? No. I am going to show them that I am the mightier. So he prayed to the mother, Mother, give me that power so that I can become more powerful king. Again, he was a king, the king that he was defeated, and then this is the, again I like to be more powerful king. Mother said, okay. So desire. So when you are a desire, you are having the desire, you are having this. So first. Second, another person, the businessman, he understood it properly and he said, no, Mother, enough. Again I earn, again some people will betray me. So no more, I want mukti. So this we have to understand, mukti, liberation means free from desire. We go in millions to get a little drop of water because we think that was churned out from under the ocean and then that was kept over there, a little bit was spilled over there in the water and some time comes, again it may be floating somewhere. If we go and take deep, then we will get that. It's the whole idea. But what is that? Amrit Kumbha, Kumbha Snana. Thousands and millions they go. The greatest show of the world, they say. But what is that Amrit? Amrit doesn't mean the liquid, ambrosia, or something that we drink. Amrit means contentment. When you are contented, that is the Amrit. That is called knowledge. So one is knowledge, and if that knowledge you apply, you understand, what happens? You burn your desires. Sri Ramchandra, he wanted to leave the earth and home and become a monk, and then his guru, family guru, Vasishta, he had a long conversation with him. That is called the Vasishta Ramayana. So they had a dialogue. There Vasishta said that you have to burn your mind. Kill your mind. Kill mind means thoughts. Then you have to stop the thinking. Now you people are sitting in front of me and now I am talking, I am thinking, different thoughts are passing in my mind while I am explaining, different ideas, different quotations from different scriptures that I read. And you are thinking, you are hearing and thinking something else. You cannot control because it is there inside the mind. So this is called mind. So I say my mind, but my mind never listened to me. Rather, my mind always dictated me. It is very peculiar. Whose mind is this? And that is the reason one student came to a teacher and asked, Kene sitam patati prashitam manaha? What is this? Who is controlling my mind? I can't control my mind. I should say, hey, now no thought, now I'm going to sleep. But it should be off. But no, it is going on. I can't sleep. Every hour getting up, drinking water and pacing up and down, again coming to bed. I can't sleep. Why? Because the mind is restless. The why mind is restless? Whose mind? My mind. Then why it is restless? I do not know. What type of my mind then? And that is why they say renunciation. The sannyasa. Who is a sannyasi? Who has controlled his senses. And what are the senses? His mind actually. This eye, this ear, and the nose, and the tongue, and the touch. They will bring information, but I will accept it according to my will. So you saw something good and bad, okay, I am not taking the bad, I am taking only the good. Bhadram karnevi srinuvam devaha. Bhadram pashe maksha virjayatraha. So I am going to see, so my discrimination. So I am the master. And the moment you become the master, you become Swami. What is the meaning of the Swami? Swami Vivekananda. Swami means the master. The first is the master. Those who cannot do that, they are constantly going according to their, and they think it's my free will, I am doing this, I am a free man, I am a free person. Actually not. You are guided by your mind and which is uncontrolled. And that will ruin you. And the Upanishads again and again in a different way they said, if you control your minds, it is like reining the horses. And if you can rein the horses, then you can guide the horses, they will take you to the destination. Otherwise, if you leave the horses, which are the mind, they will rein. One will go to left side, another to right side. So there was a program in somewhere in Bihar. I have forgotten where. So I went over there. They had, the procession before Sri Ramakrishna's celebration. Two big the elephants they brought. And they asked me to sit on that, one. And another, Swamiji, he was very eager, elderly person, he was in another. But they are not trained elephants, actually used for carrying the woods from the jungle. They will, so very hard back, and somehow they covered the back. There was not proper cushions were there. So when we sat, we understood it's one of the wrong decision in my life to do. When that was low, it was okay. But when he sat and it stood up, oh my God, it's like the two-storied building and I cannot jump. And somehow I was holding something, that rope, and the man who was sitting in front, so I was holding his shoulder, and he was telling, Swamiji, hame chhod dijiye, Swamiji, please. Because he is controlling the elephant, then I told, if I leave you, I will fall. So I am not leaving you, I am holding you. So that there was nothing to hold. So that was a very peculiar situation. And then the Swami in charge who invited me, from below he was telling, wave your hand as if the Swamis they are going in the procession and the wayside people, devotees they are there. You have to show the Ashirvad. And Ashirvad? If I leave, I will fall. No Ashirvad now. Now that is the mono-eva. The mind is that problem. If you are sitting on that wild elephant, then you cannot control it. Wild horses, you cannot control it. But if you tame them, that mind is very strong. By walking, you will reach maybe 15 days. But on the horseback, in a few hours, in 1 or 2 days, you will reach there. So you have to tame that, train that, control that. Mind is that. So that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, but one must set fire to one's desires. then alone can one succeed. In the householder's life, if we understand we are a householder, I have some responsibility. As a student, I have learned. Now, that knowledge I am exchanging. I am giving it to the society and getting the money. And that I am not stealing anything, I am just exchanging my knowledge and my capacity, my services. Exchange, and I am getting this. Now I like to live in this house, I like to live in this way, I should have a car, I should have this, I should go here and there, enjoy the food. Of course you are. And there is nothing wrong in it. Sometimes people they think that, oh, this is very much wrong. No, there is nothing wrong. Swadharma. If you are there, you must perform that. Just enjoy that. You are not cheating anyone. But regularly, if you are remembering God along with whatever you are doing, that is very good. Why? Because the next stages, that will help you. Remembering and praying God every day will help you in the next phases. What are the phases? You become old and slowly you retire. After the retirement, there is no excitement, no engagement. Previously, it was difficult to answer the calls. Now you wait for the call. Because so much of time, if somebody just give you a ring and then, hey, how are you? 1 hour with him. He says, sir, can I stop? No, continue. Because you have lot of time. So that changes, scenario changes, time changes. And what you are going to do, and then finally comes loneliness. Children grown up, they all go out, you become all lonely, and then either husband or the wife, they say goodbye, it was a wonderful time I spent with you, now meet you in heaven, then they go, then I alone, what you will do? Sometimes someone will call, maybe grandson or granddaughter, you are just, how you will survive? That is the time you are all alone. You are living with your own mind. And that is why they say, from the beginning itself, purify your mind. Make your mind in such a way so that that was the time, the end of your life, you are getting a very good friend, and that is your mind. So that is the way we have to train up our mind. But we don't do that. Our training is completely different. Our training go for the information and then learn this and after that what? Why we are doing that? To get a job. Do you think that getting job will give you the peace? We don't ask. And that is why we have to be careful. Why this gospel? Why this our scripture? Why the monk? Why the holy company? Because they will give you this idea. Now this is the time you should learn. And our great founders of our Hindu society, they were so really great minds. They divided the whole life into 4 sections. Brahmacharya, Garastha, Banaprastha, Sannyas. And that each one was then devoted to one ashrama. Ashrama means time frame, time condition, that you are the brahmachari, and then afterwards you are grihastha, like that. You have to have this. The Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, this is according to your capacity of work. All these things. But the main thing, first, dharma, then ultimately, again, moksha. What is the goal? First learn dharma, then artha, then kama. Dharma, artha, kama, then comes moksha. Then dharma, if you know, then artha, kama you can control. You are enjoying but not entangled into that. Then the moksha. If you see in the society, not only in our country, every society, there will be people, the moment they get some opportunity, they will go on accumulating wealth. For what? They do not know. And afterwards they will keep the money. Where to keep the money? They will keep on the in the bathroom and the wall and here. How they are going to use that. They do not know. The greedy people. Then someday something happens, then the police will come, they will break the wall and the millions of money is coming down. There will be picture, his picture of course, but very sad picture. And in every newspaper, every media, he will be very famous, but before famous, he will be ill famous. And people will throw the stones at him and whole life will be miserable because of the money. The money he never could utilize. Why this? He could not think properly. Suppose I have money, how much I am going to utilize? This much. Achha, for next generation, other people, my children, this much. Next, extra, distribute. What becomes? People will remember you. Your children will forget. But the people will remember you. You are the great Data. So that is why we have to study the scripture. Now, Master Masha is giving in this way the recording. It was 8 o'clock in the evening. Sri Ramakrishna was in the big hall on the second floor. Narendra, Shashi, Aim, Sarat and the elder Gopal were in the room. Now there was two Gopals. The one was senior, one was junior. So the Budo Gopal, they say senior Gopal, they say Budo Gopal. When we were in Belur Math and a training center, there were three Mohan. And one was very fair complex, another was dark, another was coming from the Nil, what's called, that is Bangalore or that area. So one, the fair complex one became the what's called that Krishna Gopal, Krishna Mohan, Lal Mohan, Krishna Mohan, and Nil Mohan, because from the Lal Nil. Otherwise, it was difficult to identify. So, it is Budo Gopal. Then in English, it says the senior Gopal, and they were there. The elder Gopal. The master was speaking about his illness. Sri Ramakrishna, if some of you go to Dakshineshwar and see Bholanath, he will give you a medical oil and also tell you how to apply it. Now, friends, so common words. A man is suffering, so the Sri Ramakrishna is also suffering. But we are thinking that he is the God. But he is also thinking like us, thinking about his medicine, and there is a doctor attending to him, but still he is thinking, if the Bholanath said, if that you are applying this oil, then that you can reduce this pain that is you are having. So he is thinking, why not? He is trying in that way. So natural and very common it happened. Then it says, the elder Gopal said, then we shall go for the oil tomorrow morning. Now elder Gopal is not having that much sincerity. He said that he is suffering, immediately we will go. That is called one type of Sevaka. Now, and we are not waiting. He is suffering, and I love him, respect him. How to reduce his suffering? Now itself I will go. And they were thinking in that way. Then Aim said, if someone goes this evening, he can bring the oil. It's not very far though, so you can go. Aim means Master Masha, he is mentioning. Shashi, Sharat Shashi, that Ramakrishnananda ji, I will go. Immediately he said, I will go. I can go. But Sri Ramakrishna pointing to Sharat, he may go. Why? Because he was quietly sitting over there. There's a little, empty body, walking so much. So he was thinking, if Shashi goes, this strong person. But Sri Ramakrishna, Shashi was fanning him. So Shashi will be better if he is here. But Sharat can go. But Sharat was going. The moment he says, Sharat, you can go. Pointing to Sharat. After a time, Sharat set out for Dakshineshwar to get the oil from Bholanath. The devotees sitting around Sri Ramakrishna's bed were silent. Suddenly, the master sat up. he spoke to Narendranath. Now look at it. This time he is talking directly to Narendranath. Sri Ramakrishna. Brahman is without taint. The man who was thinking about his own body, and then he was suggesting if you can bring the oil or little medicine. Now that same person is sat up and he is talking about the highest knowledge. Brahman is without taint. The three gunas are in Brahman, but it is itself untainted by them. You may find both good and bad smells in the air, but the air itself is unaffected. Shankaracharya. Now, he is speaking about the Brahman. The Brahman is an excellent discovery of the human. The rishis, they were going on searching what is the reason this creation came? Who is the source? Why? That was the main research. Hinduism, it has no creator. All other religions, they have a creator. Taoism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Jainism, everyone is the creator. Then it has been. But except Hinduism. Hinduism has no creator at all. Then how Hinduism was created? Now in the first, immediately after the Satya Yuga was Sri Ramachandra. Has he created Hinduism? No. He was born in the family. Krishna, of course not. He was born as a Hindu. Who created Hinduism? Mostly Hindus, they don't know. The Rama, Krishna, and now aggressive in the whole, and now without knowing anything, only copying others. They are also jumping, I also jump. They have taken up the stick, I will also take a stick. Like that they are behaving. Hinduism is an excellent idea. That encompasses each and everything. If you are a Hindu, be proud of a Hindu. Why? Because of your past good work, you have been born in this Hindu. But you should know what is Hinduism. You should know what is the greatness of Hinduism. It's a research work, just like the scientist. Why it was like that? Because of the land. In one side, in the northern boundary, Himalaya standing, almost touching the sky, and not allowing the chill wind that is from the north coming, protecting it. Same Himalaya, stopping the southern breeze, carrying water, and causing rain. And that created the rivers. And that again, in turn, and all the whole land became fertile. So look at it. That is why we respect Himalayas so much. The Devabhumi. Again, we go searching for Deva. Not like that. We respect the Himalaya. We know it is a mountain. But because of the Himalayas, so many good things have happening still. We are under the protection of the Himalaya. So we say it is a God. And that is also, if you are not remembering the help that is coming from something or someone, you are not a human being. Kritagata. That is a great quality. That's a human. Hindus are great human. So that's why they are respecting Himalaya, not because of the god and goddesses. That is different. All the stories and like that. But the main reason of the Himalaya, the whole India is protected. That's why. And second, we are worshipping the sun and river because of that. Now because of the Himalaya, because of the fertile land, because of the wealth, life was so easy. Comparing it with the other three religions that developed in the Middle East area, life was so hard for all of them. The Jewish people, they were only wanted to eat some bread. They were not getting that. Someone came and told, I will take you to the land of milk and honey. Look at that. Exodus. Thousands of people followed that person only to find out a place where they can survive happily. So think of the Hindus and think of those people. They're still struggling, suffering. When the religion and the philosophy developed, obviously that was influenced by the economy, the social condition. So their goal is heaven, because they were not having anything. And what is the heaven? As a land of milk and honey. That means you can go and eat and drink and so very good. And India, it was so much so, if they say in the heaven, what is there? Food. Food, we are having so much of food. So we are not eating. Again in the heaven, the same food. And you will have a nice bed. Say, nice bed? I am having a wonderful bed. So all this comfort we are already having over here. Why should we go to heaven for that? They said, no heaven. Look at it. Because of the Himalaya, because of the surroundings, because of the blessings of God, that country, it is a blessed country, but when they got so much of wealth, they were not wasting that. Rather, they immediately send out the message to the each and every member, you must live simple, but think high. A simple living, high thinking. That was the main thing. Simple living, high thinking. What we are going to have in this, that way they started thinking. And what was the thought? Now we have everything in this world. Now we are having lot of wealth, lot of gold, lot of food, lot of protection, but still we are not happy. Still we are thinking that something is necessary. And you will find the stories in the Upanishads. There's sometimes one person, sometimes 3-4 person. The one person came, he was a very well-established the householder. After completing his all responsibility, when the children took up all the responsibilities, this man then said, now my job is done. He came to a religious person, a rishi, and asked, Kasminno bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati iti. By knowing which I can know everything, can you please tell me that? Look at it, how he was inquiring. I like to know the one by which I can understand everything. When he was asking that one, the rishi is giving the reply that this. There are two types of knowledge are there. One is this worldly knowledge, another is our spiritual knowledge. So this is the way it developed. And in another Upanishad we find the 5 same the householders. Why householders? Because that was the first responsibility. You have to complete that. Brahmacharya Garastha. Then at the time of Banapastha, you are preparing after the retirement. Then the sannyasa. Then in the Banapastha, all these 5 friends, they said, now is everything done. So let us go for the higher knowledge. So that is India. It's not, let us go for what's called the cruise. After retirement, what to do? 1 year cruising. Achha chalo. Then they went to the cruise. No, they are searching for higher knowledge. Why? Because basically they were trained, if you like to get the joy, the happiness, then you have to renounce. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna now taking our mind directly to the Brahman, and he mentioned Brahman is without taint. What is the taint? That means some qualities. The moment you are having the quality, that means you are limited. That is called philosophy. The moment you are having some quality, you are limited. If the Brahman is creating, how he is creating? That means he is thinking. And after the thought, he is working. So all these making him limited. It comes within time, space and causation. So we have to understand this point. If there is no time, then when I am creating then? The space should be there, the area should be there, locality should be there, and cause should be there. And because of the cause, the effect. I am hungry, so I get the food. If I was not hungry, no question of food. So the cause and effect. So the effect means there is a cause, and cause means there is action, and action means you are limited. It may be good, it may be bad. But Brahman cannot be so. Why? Then it will one day destroy completely. And who has created this universe? Others say God has created. And is the God directly creating? Then they were, oh no, if he is directly creating, there will be problem. What to do? Then they also make the three level. Have you noticed that? They also, in the Christianity, they say that they have the Trinity. The God the Father in the heaven, we do not know about him. Then the Son, who is working over here, he is the Jesus. And then the third one, in between God and the Son, how the God will commute with the Son. So the Holy Ghost, where the Father in the heaven, Holy Ghost in between, then the Son. And the Son one time said, I and the Father in heaven are one. We are not different. So it goes to the Vedanta again. So like this, if we can understand, as they call it, the meaning in between the line, the people when they are explaining, they are making mistakes as according to their understanding. But if you don't have a clear understanding of the Vedanta, you will never be able to even give the answer to these questions. Why the God over there, as you mentioned in your the pantheon, that the God you cannot see, it is all pervading, etc. But he is guiding the human being through his Son, only begotten Son. Why only? Another problem, because the human beings are committing sin. What is the sin? I like to eat, I like to see, I like to go there, I like to grab. If all these sins are there, then wherever the sin came, then again they had to imagine a devil. Then where from devil came? Now they say, don't ask any question, then you will beat you. So you don't get the answer. Who created devil? Somebody has to create devil. So now Brahman is not having any taint. No creation is possible. Then what? So that is Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna sitting over there, so much the pain, he was suffering was there. Still the idea is so clear. He is mentioning the Brahman is without taint. The three gunas means Sattva, Raja and Tama. Why the guna? Because the quality. And how we will understand that there are three gunas? If you analyze any person, any being, you will find the three qualities. Sometimes they are really, really good, sometimes mixture of good and bad, and sometimes bad. And those who are really bad called Ashura, they are really good called Sura, in between human being. So human being is standing on the threshold of good and bad. And that is why the God again and again come in the form of human being to guide them. Sometimes as Buddha, sometimes Christ, sometimes Rama, Krishna. There again the great souls are also there all the time. Every corner in India you go, you will find a great soul. That is the beauty of India. Different type of ideas they will say. They will say you have to worship Radha, otherwise you won't get peace. It's okay. Another will say, Radha? No, there is no problem. Krishna only. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. And some will say, Acha, why not Krishna and Radha together? That will be. And they are all great souls. They're telling in that way, but all are telling the truth. And here Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning the ultimate Advaita Vedanta, and he said that it is not having any qualities. No sattva, no raja, no tama. Again, he says, itself untainted by them. You may find both good and bad smell in the air. Immediately giving the example that in the air, you will find bad and good. Air is not contaminated. Air is just like air. It is flowing. Sometimes the bad things are there, it carries that smell. Afterwards, flower gardens, the good smell. It is unaffected. Similarly, the Brahman is just like that. It is not affected. This gives the answer. Who created devil? God. That Brahman. Why? Because good and bad both are there. Sattva is there, Tama is also there. And in between Sattva Raja mixture, human beings are also there. Who created that Brahman? Then why he is not affected? Because he is not touched by that. Though it is there, like air. Another place he gave an excellent example. The snakes is having the poison in its body. But that poison is not creating problem for the snake. The snake biting, then that is the trouble. But snake itself carrying that in its body is not having any trouble. Similarly, the Brahman is having all those devilish qualities, but not affected by that. But if that is there, poison is touching others, then the problem. The excellent. So you need not to think of another existence as devil. In the Islamic thought, they created in this way. After the creation of the human being, the God became very happy. Then he called all the celestial beings to pay respect to the human. Why? I have created. It is my last creation and I love him. To pay respect to him. Iblis, one of the divines, the form, he denied. No, what is it? I was created by you, of course, but much before. Just recently you have made the human and is limited. I am a God and I have lot much knowledge and power. Why should I pay respect to him? God became angry, banished him from the heaven, so he became devil. The shaitan. Okay, that is one story. And in the Christian story, we do not know where from the shaitan actually came. Devil came. But somebody saw it's a long tail. At the back, there is two things dividing, sometimes who saw, you do not know. At least God has not seen him. Then who saw there? But anyway, all imagination. And sometimes they told somebody gave him apple. These two creation, the best creation of God, the man was made out of God's own image, and then he created the lady form also, woman also. These two, he kept them there, and he went inside asking, hey, you should not be living from here. Then this person came, offered them apple. Now the apple orchard, the owners, they are protesting, hey, you have to remove that. Then what is this? An apple is a good thing. People may not eat because of this story. Now there's a fruit, that's okay. Now something there, that is nothing like that. The story is okay, but if you can explain, you have to explain through the Vedanta. And Vedanta says, it is your ego. What is that fruit that was offered by your own ego? So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, any find good and bad. Shankaracharya was going along the street of Benares. As an outcast carrying a load of meat suddenly touched him. What? Said Shankara. You have touched me? Revered sir, said the outcast. I have not touched you, nor have you touched me. The Atman is above all contamination, and you are the pure Atman. Now that the lower caste person is giving the knowledge to Shankara. Shankara understood, oh, it is not an ordinary person. It was Shiva himself. Because even the Shankara was having, because he is learning, experimenting, and naturally he was thinking, I am pure, and if you are pure, what is you? The Atman. Then what we other people? Atman. Then how they'll be separate? Like this. Now there's another story in the Shankara's life. The Shankara told, everything is consciousness. There is nothing but consciousness. Then the next morning he was going to bathe or maybe after bathing he was coming back. Then he saw one lady is crying, keeping the head of her dead husband, and the husband body is covering almost the complete path, the narrow lanes. The Shankara came and told, Mother, can you please remove the dead body so that I can go? Then the lady told, why don't you ask the dead body? The dead body? How can I ask the dead body to move? Maybe I can understand because of the shock that you are talking like that, but dead body cannot move. Then she said, why then yesterday night you were giving the talk, in your discourse you said, everything is consciousness. Is everything is consciousness, why not this dead body can move? Then Shankar, oh my God. Again he sat over there and prayed. It was again the mother Durga, the Shiva, Parvati. So this way they're explaining everything is consciousness. The power is also there. So you have to accept both. Then he says, a Brahman and Maya, the Jnani separate Maya. This is Sri Ramakrishna. The Brahman and Maya. What is Brahman? The consciousness. What is Maya? That dead body cannot move out of itself. So that means some other power is also there. So Maya, the Brahman and Maya, those who are Jnani, they separate the Maya. They're not this, not this, not this, not this. So they won't accept anything of this. So they are constantly consciousness, consciousness. Maya is like a veil. You see, I hold this towel between you and the lamp. You no longer see the light of the lamp. The Sri Ramakrishna put the towel between himself and the devotees. Sri Ramakrishna now you cannot see my face anymore. And Ram Prasad said, raise the curtain and behold. The bhakta, however, does not ignore Maya. This is a great statement Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna mentioned. Only, I think, last few months, September only. So we had a wonderful meeting over here. See, in Sri Ramakrishna's, in the Gospel, in one page, we find Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita and Advaita. This is Sri Ramakrishna, the Samannaya. He mentioned over here, Maya, which is creating this. But the Jnani, he separates the Maya from the consciousness. But the Bhakta accepts that, however, does not ignore Maya. He worships Moha-Maya. Taking refuge in her, he says, O Mother, please stand aside from my path. Only if you step out of my way shall I have the knowledge of Brahman. The Jnanis explain away all three states, waking, dream and deep sleep. But the bhaktas accept them all. As long as there is the ego, everything else exists. So long as I exist, the bhakta sees that God, who has become Maya, the universe, the living being, and the 24 cosmic principles. Narendra and all the devotees sat silently, listening. So, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna in 3 statements cleared the whole thing. So if you are a Jnani, Maya is there, but you have to discriminate Maya. I am not the body, I am not the body, I am not the body. Like sometimes the great practitioners of Advaita Vedanta, He used to go and sit inside the cave, and the ants will come and bite, hundreds. And you'll be looking at that and say, I am not the body, I am not feeling any pain. So that is Advaita practice. Anything happening, I am not affected by that. But Dvaita, it is better, because in this life we cannot practice like that. So that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, Advaita knowledge is good. For the practice, for the application, it is Dvaita. As long as I is there, you have to accept we also. I, you, we, everything. So this world. So this is how Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna explained. In the next class again, we will continue this philosophy. So is there any question? Yeah.
Samir Kumar is asking, how should the elderly people pray before the Trinity? Is it to seek blessing for myself or to lead a decent next life?
Then, you see, it is better to pray in this way. Whatever is good for me, O God, you know better than me. Please do that to me. So when we are praying, actually we do not know what is good for me. So that's why it is better to give it to God. And it is God's responsibility to guide me. And that's why Swami Sri Ramakrishna mentioned that if the father is holding the hand of the child even is looking this side, that side, but his steps will be all right. He won't fall. But if the child is holding the finger of the father, maybe inadvertently he will lose the hand and go away and fall. So it is better to pray to the God, whatever is good for me, please give that to me. But ultimately, before I die, please promise that you come and take me to your place. So that should be the meaning.
Question from Devashish, how to get rid of negative environment in life when it is affecting our life?
So this is a great challenge, the negative thing, because in the family, in the society, offices, everywhere, and where you will go. So obviously you are asking this question because the experiencing. You have to pray to God. As God is all-powerful, almighty, if the God we are praying, so please take away all this problem from me and everything will be taken away. So only thing as a sincere devotee what we can do is a prayer. Please pray to God. God, I like to think in a positive way. I like to develop a spiritual life. So please guide me and make the environment in such a way that I am always in the company of good people. And if you are praying like that, you will find that one day you will surely get that. So getting the company of good people also is because of the luck. So people don't get the good people's company even, or mostly bad people. Any question from here? Do you like to ask any question? No question, okay. Okay then, so we'll say Shanti.
Just one question prompted by your last statement. Good and bad. How do we keep away from the bad? If we know this is not good for us, then sometimes it comes in the garb of goodness.
So the first thing is prayer, as I was telling, because we do not know and what will happen, and I am trying to do good, but that may react bad. So that is also there. But one thing, sometimes we think, I understand everything, I am everything doing good, and try to, instruct all others in that way, that is also bad. Because that is prompting through your ego. And how you can overcome that? Thinking, when the Lord Sri Ramchandra came, Krishna came, Ramakrishna came, Vivekananda, Buddha, all tried to do good to the world, but the world is like this. So I cannot make the whole people good. That is not my job. It is God's work. And God doesn't want that everybody should be liberated, because that is His game. That is His happiness. Well, I don't want to be in this play, that's all. I have understood this much, but this is very suffering, so I am not going to have this. So what I should do, whatever the thing that I am thinking to tell others, I should practice first. And if I practice really something in your life and in your behavior, in your character, that will influence others. Example, Swami Vivekananda. Example, the great personalities like this. So if you think properly and live, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, he never said, if you support me, I will give you rice in 2 rupees. He never said that. If you support me and vote for me, I will give you this, I will give you that. I will increase your salary. Nothing like that. Rather, he said, give your life for me, and I will give you freedom. Maybe in that freedom you won't be there, but your generations. And people in thousands followed him, because he felt that 100%. That is a great leader. It's not that only bribing people to get the support. No, no bribing. Whether you support or not, it doesn't matter. But what this is the truth. I am going to give you the good things. If you support me, for that you have to, in the beginning, suffer. I alone cannot do it. So that way, if you turn your mind and then leave, whatever you say will be followed by others. Otherwise, people won't listen. That is the thing.
So Maharaj, it's a different question, but as you said, that geography really dictated a lot of philosophical thinking. So the same fertile land which created Hinduism, quote unquote, nobody knows how it got created. Buddhism and Jainism philosophy is so different, but it originated in the
No different. But their goal I am mentioning. Buddhism also says about mukti. Jainism talk about mukti. Hinduism talk about mukti. And see, they don't talk about the heaven. Of course, heaven is there. It's a little higher life than this. Those who are practicing righteousness, but having some desire, won't go for the mukti, won't get mukti, but they will go to heaven. They will have a nice life, much, much, much better than this life. So we accept that. In the Kathopanishad, the Nachiketa, he is praying to the Yama, tell me the process by which people can go to heaven. That means heaven is there. In Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. But that is not the ultimate goal. But the other 3 religions, ultimate goal is that.
So then, why the structure of the practice? In Jainism, there are lots of like rigidity in the structure of practice, like you shouldn't eat this, you shouldn't harm that, those kind of things. Hinduism is much more broad, open to all, like you can eat or not eat, but that is not connected to your ultimate salvation, if I say so. So why this structural differences?
No, that is first is the goal, and then in that there are different type of teachers. So they say if you come like this, it happens. Now if you are going to some pilgrimage, so that the Kailash, Manassarovar, that there are approaches from Indian side, from Nepal side, and from China also. So if you go through China, they say it is easy, because they have developed the road, you can reach up to that. Otherwise, you have to walk a lot and then suffering. So some people, they like austerity, one of our doctors, I think 12 times or 14 times he has gone. Every year he goes. And he loves to walk. So that is his. But another lady told, no, not that much, I will go by bus. Then if necessary, a helicopter will take you. I have to go over there and see that, worship over there and come back. It is not the walking. But some people say, no, if you are not physically traveling, then it is not. So that is the main problem. Different schools, different teachers. Goal is the main. All are going to Manas Sarovar, Kailasa. But approaches are different, teachers are different, guides are different, like that.
So basically,
Jato mat tato pat. But all are going to the same goal. So, okay then friends, we'll have Shanti 3 times and we close. Om Shanti, 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat, Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.